You know what Ben saw at his gym isn't an isolated incident at all. In my gym as well,
Yeah.
if you look around and you see the weights section of the gym, it's usually just men who are flooded in that particular section. Women are usually in the cardio section, doing the running, the skipping, other exercises with the dumbbells as well. Those are also weights, I suppose, but some of the bigger, heavier ones, you'll see men just going there. And you never see them on the other side either,
Yeah.
right? The big arms and the small legs. We see you, gents, we see you. But
Yes.
unlike some forms of exercise where progress can feel elusive, strength training is said to offer clear and tangible measures of success. And each time one adds more weight to a bar, they're reminded of their ability to meet their goals and conquer challenges. But these are usually seen for the more stronger gender, or for people who have the ability to hold those particular weights. We're finding out today about the benefits of lifting weights for women, and we have our Stodla to Skora Obakeng Fit Obi Makapane, who's a fitness enthusiast, chatting to us about this. Obi is a fitness enthusiast who's joining us on the line to speak about the benefits of strength training for women and how and when to start. Obakeng, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Palesa. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoy this topic so much.
Yeah, I'm glad that it is so, but what we see in the gyms don't really reflect the topic that we're speaking about today, because the weights themselves have been given, I guess, the concept that the weights are for men, for them to get those big,
Mhm.
bulky bodies, those huge muscles on their arms, and maybe not so much on their legs. And women usually stick to the other section because we think that we're just not strong enough for those weights. Uh, how are we breaking this misconception?
I think the first thing to note is that there's this myth around if you lift weights as a woman, you're going to start looking like a man. It is not possible. The hormones that exist in our bodies and the hormones that exist in male bodies don't allow us to end up looking the same. And I think it's important to note to state that first before we start talking about strength training. A lot of women shy away because they're scared to bulk up and look like men. It's not something that can happen overnight. You need to be intentional about you bulking up and looking a certain way. So it is important that we understand that weight training does not necessarily mean you're going to end up bulking up or anything like that. Instead, what will happen if you start weight training is that your posture is going to improve. Your confidence is going to improve. Like you said earlier, the more you build up and the more progress you make in lifting the heavier weights, there's a self confidence booster that takes place. It also helps you because you're building certain muscles in your body or you're strengthening certain muscles in your body that with age tend to become weaker. So, strength training can help you have longer muscle strength in your later years in life. And obviously, the body tones up through strength training, a mixture of strength training and cardio. So, I think it is important that women do some strength
Hmm.
training. Our muscles tend to be weaker than males, especially as we age. So if you want to age good or have muscles that will allow you to perform certain tasks, strength training is your answer.
Hey, Obi, let's talk a little bit about why is there that culture whereby you see that, the weight section is full of the gents and, it seems like the ladies don't even want to tap into that. Is it because of that culture that's in the gym section, definitely about that men are always bulking up and women don't belong there? What have you noticed as being the reason that keeps women away from weightlifting?
Benjamin, so I'll speak about my experience. So when I first started at the gym, I was very intimidated. I was definitely intimidated by how male dominant the weight section is. And I did not know what to do when I get there. Because you find people who are lifting there who
Yeah.
look like they know what they're doing.
Sure.
And you feel out of place because you're like, this thing might drop on my toes. Will I scream? What will happen? Will
Sure.
people look at me? And I think as women, we tend to criticize ourselves quite a bit and we don't allow ourselves to be beginners in that section. So when I started off, I decided to just take the weights and go into a little corner and open YouTube and start looking at, okay, what are people doing online? Which kind of helped me boost my confidence. And when I felt the muscle pain, I'm like, oh, okay, it's because I did legs using this weight. When I felt the arm pain, I'm like, oh, yes, I remember lifting like this. And over time, I started building my own routine. I obviously started also learning a bit more about weightlifting and working out. And I did my training in head instructions. So that also helped me boost my confidence. But I think women, besides the myth of them looking like men, they fear not knowing what to do when they get to the weight section, and they feel intimidated by how male dominated that area is. So you just have to get out of your own mind. Basically, you need to leave your own mind and say, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to try. But also get a personal trainer. If you feel like you don't know what you're doing, get a few sessions with a personal trainer. They will help you around what muscles to work with, what weights, and where you are at the moment, where you want to be. Have a goal as to what your physique should look like or what you want to strengthen in your body, because that will allow you to continuously work on improving your strength training in
Yeah.
the long term.
You know,
So
Obi.
it is important to have goals. It's important to get the help that you need. There's a lot of information online. There's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's access to online training as well. Get help so that you can get the confidence that you need to take on that section.
Yeah. You did speak about the fact that it can be quite intimidating, and that's so true, right? Women are essentially intimidated by that particular section. But one of the things that we're most afraid of is that we will have a masculine physique, right? And some women, and in fact, a lot of people go to the gym for a particular look, a particular aesthetic, a particular physique. And the conception of it, or the misconception is that, hey, if I go to that weight section and I do weights regularly, then I'm going to look masculine and bulky. Is this true?
That is not true. And I think I said this when we started. The hormones that exist in a female body are quite different to what exists in a male's body. And that those hormones allow us to build or shape our bodies a certain way, right? We all have different body types. We all have different genes. And your diet will also play a role. If you are bulking up, you'll most likely have a high carb, high protein diet. But if you are on the deficit side of eating, which a lot of people are currently doing, a lot of women are doing, then chances of you bulking up and ending up having this male physique are very, very low. So it's important that you understand that men and women work quite differently. Their bodies are very, very different. And you'll notice that as women, we carry a lot of our body weight on the lower part of our bodies, whereas men carry on the upper part of their bodies.
Yeah.
So even when they train and they train upper body, they bulk up quickly. And if you, as a woman, start training your legs, you'll see that your glutes and your thighs start toning up way quicker than your upper body. And that's just how genetics work and how our autonomy as male and female kind of work.
Okay, so we don't need to be afraid of looking like men when we go weightlifting. We're chatting to Obakeng Fit OB Makapane, who's a fitness enthusiast, speaking about the benefits of lifting weights for women. We'll continue this conversation after the break. Stay on the line with us, Obi.
The rhythm of Africa, the pulse of the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective. Yo, listen up. Channel Africa is taking the digital game higher.
Check it out.
We are taking our digital platforms to the next level. For you, our loyal listeners.
You know where we at, right?
New website, a fresh new app, and they're on fire. Anytime, anywhere listening, Channel Africa brings the African sound to you.
It's the bomb, yo.
Stay locked. The future is crystal clear with us. Your new way to experience Channel Africa is almost here. Africa, stand tall and get ready. Step into the heart of the day on the move with Palesa and Benjamin.
Let's get ready early for our fitness plans for the week. That's why we do it on a Monday, because this is when we're trying to get the inspiration for the week. This is our nutrition and fitness feature today with Obakeng Fit Obi Makapane, a fitness enthusiast, and always a pleasure having Obakeng on the show. Obakeng, the guys always go heavy. I've noticed. I'm not there at the gym yet. I'm still trying to trim down lomkaba, so I'm always at the cardio section, the other side where no one is at. But I've noticed that it feels like everyone is going for the heavy lifts, right? And that seems to be a culture, right? Should that be the approach? I'm just going to be general on this one because I don't want to genderize the conversation.
I think, a lot of males, unfortunately, I'm so sorry to do this, but a lot of men, when they go to the gym, they ego lift, right? And ego lifting means
Yeah.
you saw someone else lifting heavier than you and you're like, I can do better. My ego, my pride, I'm here and I'm going to show you that I'm more masculine than you, which does not work, by the way. One, you are more susceptible to injury when you do that because you're not progressing at your own pace and you're not allowing your body to break down. Because the thing about muscle, when you build it, you need to break it in order for it to come back and build itself stronger and bigger, right? That's how muscles generally work, which is why you feel the pain and you need to rest, let it recover, and then build again. So when that ego lifting happens, the process you don't allow the body to go through the full process of building your muscle. And a lot of men will focus on the upper body and forget about their lower body. Then they end up having the Johnny Bravo physique, right? But what they don't realize is that long term, when you are in your 40s and 50s, you're not going to be able to maintain that physique. One, you won't have as much stamina as you would have when you were younger. But two, you also won't have the amount of time that you have now to build that body that you want.
Sure.
You are older, you want to be able to do the day-to-day things like climbing up the stairs, playing with your kids,
Sure.
your grandchildren. You want to be able to pick up groceries. You want to be able to go down on your knees without you feeling funny sounds on you. And that's what strength training helps you with. I think it's gone beyond us looking a certain way, but rather having a functional body into your old age.
Yeah.
So even though people might say, no, lifting small weights does not give you the same physique. The most important thing is that you need to understand what your goal is. If your goal is to build a body that you'll be able to maintain long term, then you don't have to go hard every single week. You can maintain the weight that you're on, in a month or two increase it, and then go back. It's more about building a body that will sustain you in the long term rather than something that looks good today, but in 10 years time it does not benefit you. Instead, you have a lot of injuries, a lot of torn muscles, needing a lot of surgery, a lot of physio. That is not maintainable.
Yeah. I asked that question beyond gender there, not because I'm kind of dismissing the woman focus that we have today as a theme. I'm doing that deliberately because what we do most of the time, we use that way that the gents lift in the gym as a standard. And I've seen ladies trying to do the same thing, and sometimes that can be very harmful. What would you advise the approach to be for our lady listeners?
I think the approach, first of all, do your research. Also determine what goal. Let me actually take it back. The first thing, determine what your goal is when it comes to health and wellness and your fitness journey. Once you've identified that, see what steps you need to take in order for you to get to that end of journey, whatever it is that you want to achieve, right? If you want to be stronger, if you want to feel good in your own body, try and incorporate different ways of training. So incorporate strength training, but also include your cardio, because you don't want to be looking good, but you can't walk up a flight of stairs. You don't want to be looking good, but when it's time to take a little jog around, or for the mommies, it's time to do the sack race at school for your kid, then you can't keep up. So I think find a good balance and don't try and compete with what the males are doing in the gym. Our physiques are very different. Our autonomy is very different. The way our bodies are built is very different, and genetics also play a big role.
Yeah.
So make sure that the things that you do are good for you and you're able to maintain it long term. Because if you start too hard now and you lift very heavy now, in the next 3 months you'll have so many injuries in your body that you won't even enjoy weightlifting anymore, and that takes away from what you wanted to achieve in the first place when you start weight training. And I think this also goes for the gents. find a good balance between weight training and cardio. Yes, it's good to feel like you are the strongest person in the gym, but you can't be strong and not be able to walk up a flight of stairs. That does not balance out too well. And make sure that you are able to adopt habits in the gym and outside that will sustain you long term. Fitness, unfortunately, the minute you get into it, becomes a long term commitment. It's a life-term commitment. It's not something that I want to look good for December, and after December I'm going back to my old habits. That is not sustainable.
So should we be looking down on the dumbbells, Obakeng? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, strength training means that I have to go to that weight section where the men are. But can you start with the dumbbells? I mean, those are quite easy and accessible to everyone, whether you think you're strong or not. How do we start this journey?
Yes. Start with what you have where you are. If you are at home and you want to feel a bit more comfortable at home with your dumbbells, your 5 kilograms, work with that. Your 2 kilograms, work with that. And the one thing I like these days is that the gym classes incorporate strength training. So you'll go to a gym class and you'll start lifting these weights, and that builds you up your confidence. Once you've built up that confidence, you can then go downstairs or wherever in the gym section where the guys are and take your 5 kilograms or your 7 kilograms and start working out with those. It's a confident booster. It's a step-by-step process. It's not something that happens overnight. Give yourself the grace and allow yourself to be a beginner. We all didn't start by walking. We all crawled as kids, and then eventually we started walking and we got the confidence to then start running. So apply the same thing to your gym journey, and you'll see the results as you continue to grow. Your confidence will be boosted, your posture will be much better as a woman, and you'll feel very, very strong in your own body.
Yeah. I mean, you spoke about that the woman's body is a very different. We know that, there is many physical things to consider when lifting. What physical elements should women consider when starting to lift? I'm speaking this as kind of a warning to say, you know what, look after yourself as well. Know your own physicality.
Yeah. I always encourage women to not strength train when it's that time of the month, that week. One, because your body is currently going through a lot. And two, you may feel discouraged because you're not going to be able to lift the same weights you did the week before or the week after. So those are things that you need to be considerate of and allow yourself the grace to go through that part of your journey. Another thing is that when you lift as a woman, just remember that your form becomes very, very, I mean, it's important for gents as well, but I think for women, our bodies are very sensitive, so any muscle can be pulled at any time. So make sure that your form is correct in your lifting. Watch as many videos as possible. Like I said, if you can afford to, get a personal trainer. But I think there are a lot of women YouTube videos that can guide you as to how you should be lifting. If a weight becomes too heavy, it's okay to leave it and go back a step before coming back to the same weight. And also, your body is literally a dumbbell. I know this sounds weird to say, but you have to carry your own weight. Do push-ups, do squat jumps, do your own lunges at home. Use your body to get stronger before you can now introduce these external elements to help you progress further.
Well, Obakeng, you're always fantastic. We love having you on the show. Where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Obakeng_FitOB. I'm also running the Cape Town Marathon.
Oh, you are! Wow.
I'm doing the 42 kilometers. Please, guys, if you're on the road, support, shout. I'll be very, very happy to see everyone. This is my second time doing it. I did it
nice.
last year.
Well done.
The vibes are always nice there. And believe it or not, I did a lot of strength training during this training block, and I feel so, so strong.
Okay, now we need feedback when you do come back, and all the best for that one.
Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves and eat well, move your body. It will all work out.
Love that. That's Obakeng, Fit OB Makapane, who's a fitness enthusiast, and she'll be running the Cape Town Marathon soon. That's a huge one
Next year
indeed.
it's you, Pale.
No, that's not me. Absolutely not. The benefits of lifting weights for women is the conversation we've been having.